Welcome. All right. Welcome back to Radio Mental Illness. All right. Let's see here. All right. Why did it go to 0? That wasn't supposed to say 0. Let's go like here. No, it's still too loud. Stop. There. There. That's good. Okay. Hello. All right. So, what am I doing again? Oh, yes, things. I have things to say. Important things. Perhaps, probably not important to almost anyone, including people listening to me, but who knows? Who knows? Nobody's here. OBS lies to me, though. They'll tell me, like, there's only 3 people here, and then all of a sudden it turns into, like, 10. And I'm like, okay, thanks. How long was that? Like, there's some, like, long-ass delay between, like, what's, you know, whatever. While I believe I'm waiting for more people to show up, I'm going to say some stuff about me. Still can't find a fucking job. It's really annoying, because I'm not just applying to, like, the stuff I'm familiar with, like, you know, all that AI training shit, and stuff that I'm, like, I guess, have a degree in, which is, like, history or tutoring. I'm applying for, like regular jobs, like any job. Like I went to like a fucking one of those job agency places to just like work at a warehouse or something, like anything, dude. And I hit them up, and I'm like, and they're just like, yeah, things are pretty slow, which really annoyed me, because like the reason I signed up for one of those agencies, because they were having like a job fair. Like they were promoting it like, oh, there's jobs, everybody, you better sign up with us because there's jobs. And then they tell me, oh, it's slow. I'm like, why the fuck did you have a job fair? That was the point of that. It implies there's jobs. Right? Maybe they needed to have a job fair so that there was enough people that they had to process there so that they could keep their jobs. Maybe that was the job fair. The help me keep my job. Trying to find you a job fair. I'm guessing that was maybe that was the goal. I don't know. But it's been like almost 2 weeks since I joined that agency to look for any kind of job, and they haven't hit me up. And I've called them twice, and they just tell me, "Oh, well, we'll call you back when, you know." And I'm like, bro, like, I've done a lot of work. I can do like sales. I can do whatever you fucking want. It's crazy. Like I can do whatever. I don't care. I just need a job right now. I prefer to be doing what I was doing, because that job was remote and tolerable for my disposition, but you know how it be. Oh, this is good. It's like, you know, it's like a cup of water with those shitty powders that you mix in. It's supposed to be like peach iced tea or something. It's actually pretty good. Anyway. So yeah, it's just a frustrating situation. All right, I'm trying to buy time until like more people that watch me show up, but I don't know. Maybe that's not going to happen. I don't know, because I have some news, and then I have a video I wanted to cover last time, but I'll cover today. Another TED Talk that I found interesting. I've been just digging around in them, and there's some good ones in there that I'm like, oh wow, they're talking about things at a certain level of depth that you wouldn't see on a YouTube slot video, or a video focused on content creation or slash engagement, right? They're just people talking about a thing that they think is important, or have a message they think is important, and so they do it. And props to them, especially the ones that do like the scripted speeches and stuff. Man, I can't do that shit. I can't do scripted. I don't mind talking in public. Like, I'll talk in public. I'll go in front of a stage. I don't give a shit. But like, I can do it like unprompted. What do they call it? Like improvised, or just talk. Like, you ask me questions, I'll talk. Like an interview or something like that. Like, that's fine. But if you ask me to like come up with a presentation, then I have to like do it in a certain order and do it with, man, that's hell for me. I can't do that shit. That shit makes me nervous as fuck. Only because like I know how distracted I get. And so the best I could ever do is it's that one style where it's like in between. Extemporaneous, I think that's what it's called. Is that like it? Extemporaneous? Am I stupid? I think it's like where you kind of have some key points listed on like a sheet and then you just go off the cuff. Like that's the best I can do. I definitely can't do scripted shit. I could never be an actor. I talk to my dog a lot. Well, that's good. I'm sure your dog appreciates that. Doggies like attention. All right, I think I've waited enough. Sure. Okie dokes. So there is going to be a new server. And no, don't worry. I'm not going to fuck up the glorious thing that is the Zoid Void. That will remain untouched. That is its own beautiful enigma. And what I mean by a new server is that I have a server now, bare bones mostly, at the moment. I hope it grows, and then maybe we can get it boosted up and do stuff. Whatever, who cares, right? We'll see. We'll play by ear. But point is, that server is going to be more centered around the information, ideas, well, anything really. But it could be the ideas brought up in the channel. It could be other ideas. I don't care. I just want a place where people that maybe like my channel or just enjoy good faith conversation can go, right? Somewhere where, you know, the divergence out there, you don't have to be neurodivergent, but, you know, I assume that's most of the people that do watch me are probably on something. Something's going on because they wouldn't be watching me probably. And I got plenty going on. But point is, it's called Angsty Divergent, and essentially, I don't want to really make it focused on that aspect, but I want it focused on being able to have sort of idiosyncratic conversations, having good faith conversations on topics that sometimes can be contentious or politically, what's the word? Politically volatile for people and stuff. I don't want, that's not to say it's a political server. It is not. It's not a poll. I don't want a fucking slash poll type shit going on there. I'm not interested in like a bunch of fucking bullshit like tribalistic crap and hate crap and just nonsense. Like I'm not looking for that. Not to say that conspiracies and stuff are disallowed. I'm not a big fan of any kind of conspiracies that disparage entire groups of people as a whole. But there are a lot of topics that can be emotionally charged, and I want to see if people can have some of those conversations without fucking going full fallacy mode. And it kind of falls in line with a lot of what I talk about, how I like to communicate my thoughts regarding communication, what sort of like conversational styles are more effective to just getting to the bottom of things and having discourse instead of debate, because I fucking hate debate. I love discussion. And you can have a discussion where one person doesn't agree with the other. It doesn't have to turn into a debate. Debate is stupid. It doesn't do shit except for convince everybody of what they already believe in for the most part. Can we be honest about deeper or shadow conversations with being okay? Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff would be interesting. But obviously, I would disallow anything illegal, any conversations about absolutely gross shit, like, I don't know, PDF shit. You know what I'm talking about? No, that shit is bannable instantly. Okay, That PDF bullshit. I don't hear arguments for that crap. I don't care if, oh, you're struggling with that and you want to talk. No, I don't want those people in my server. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want just the most basic shit. Like, it's just so simple to me. But you know, anytime you have any kind of rules in a server to just not be a piece of shit all the time, there's always somebody that's going to cry censorship. Every single time. So, but yeah, if somebody wants to talk about their own experiences, or something on the correct channel, yeah, I mean, I guess it could be fine. I mean, it's like I said, it's all contextual. That's the thing I'm interested to, is having contextual, good faith conversations about sometimes difficult topics, or it could be casual topics, or it could just be current events. I don't give a fuck. Point is, it's gonna have a lot of the stuff that you would find on the Zoid Void, which is restricted to the Schizoids because we have an application process. There is the annex, but it's very limited, right? And we want to make the annex on the Zoid Void more for people that are interested in Schizoid stuff, or trying to talk to people that have Schizoid personality disorder, or find out more about it. But this server, this Angsty Divergent server, is going to be more open to basically anybody that's interested in the channel, what's discussed, that want to do whatever. They want to talk about philosophy, they want to talk about psychology, they want to talk about politics, they want to talk about art, whatever it is they fucking feel like talking about, or post memes, some dank shit all over it, or whatever, you know, not cringy ass fucking like edgelord memes, but or shit, like just fucking gross shit posty stuff, but like more just fucking humor. But yeah, it's gonna be something there for people that just enjoy either the channel or just having those kinds of conversations. And that way, I have somewhere, since I kind of expanded upon like what the channel's about and what I'm trying to do with it, because it's the only path to growth, and it's the only path to get the growth required, so that I can actually advocate more about what I really give a fuck about, which includes advocacy for people with schizoid personality disorder. But in any case, I just want to see what people's thoughts are on some of the shit I say, or just thoughts on anything. Just reading other people lurking and seeing what people are discussing might spark ideas for myself. So that would be useful. That'd be really interesting. I'm being pretty transparent about that. I mean, yeah, you guys are gonna be like little content machines. No, that's fucking sick. And I want to see what happens. What happens when you have kind of a similar setup to what the Zoid Void has already, minus, because some of the stuff obviously it's not going to be there, is the Schizoid specific stuff, right? Schizoid specific support. It's not going to be a support server. I guess that's my point. Is the Zoid Void is a relatability and support mental health kind of server type deal. Like, it's a relatability support place for people that have a specific set of issues, so they have somewhere to be, right? This server is going to be just anybody that wants to join it. And there are rules, and you do have to follow them, but they're not super hardcore or anything. Banter is fine. You want to banter, that's okay. You want to you know, occasionally get mad, the conversations get a little heated or something, that's fine. I don't care. I just want to avoid as much fucking fallacious bullshit that just kind of derails crap completely, right? I'm not going to deny that you know, people make mistakes, or they get a little heated, or they have shit, like, it happens, whatever. But you know, just I would like to see some like mostly civil conversation. I don't want it to devolve into one of those like free-for-all fucking poly servers or some shit like that. That's why I don't want it to be a political server. I want it to be a server that includes politics, but we'll cover just about anything. And I'm more interested in seeing people that are knowledgeable in a variety of subjects posting there, just knowledge, info dumping something useful, and then letting people just go at it conversation wise, you know. So yeah, hopefully it turns into share art. Yeah, there you go. Share art, share whatever the fuck you want within reason. I think that's the best I can ask for. I know it sounds like really like what's the word, really vague what it is I want with this server, but I kind of need it to be. I kind of need it to be vague. Lame. Oh, what a surprise. Active research thinks it's no, it's fine. But I'm looking, like, if some people want to drop some interesting ideas, if you have some fucking cool conspiracy, if you want to do a little bit of you know, idiosyncratic posting, that's fine by me. I just, like I said, I just don't need a fucking, I don't want the shit to be a fucking like a shitpost server. That's not what I'm looking for. There's so many of those already. Like, I don't know why anybody complains about going into a server and then they have rules and then you say something and then you're like, hey, you broke the rules, and then they're like, they cry bully, like, and talk about how they're being censored and blah blah blah. I'm like, you know how many servers are out there that you can basically fucking post like pornography and crazy shit? It's not like the Zoid Void. It's set up like topic wise. It's got like a lot of the Zoid Void stuff, but it's not a support server. The Zoid Void is a support and relatability server for schizoids. That's what it's for. This is for the channel and to have discussions with anybody that wants to have them in as good faith as reasonably possible. The last thing I need is a bunch of people rolling up there trying to gaslight everybody and do all kinds of bullshit. I don't fucking. There's so many servers. There's already 1 million servers for that shit. So, you know, I don't get why people join like servers that have rules just to break them. I mean, I get why that happens, but it's just so lame because there's already so many like Wild West crazy servers if you dig around for them. Literally, they promote themselves that way. God knows how long they last, but they're always around. So there's always a place for that shit. But yeah, I want to see what happens. I tend to bring up a lot of subjects that are like, I guess, thought-provoking or questioning of various elements of what would be considered status quo or whatever. I talk about all kinds of shit, as you guys well know already by now. But yeah, I want to see the autists and the schizos and the and even the neither of those just show up and see what happens. I want to see what happens. Hopefully things aren't going to run smoothly, but I'm going to try. And if people join and I see that they're active and maybe over time I can figure out things for like mods and stuff, because it's just me right now mostly. I just don't see it growing like crazy fast. So I feel like whatever gradual growth it does get is going to be pretty manageable initially, and then once enough people do join, then, you know, we have to figure more stuff out. I'll find you. You already live in my walls, bro. You don't gotta find me. Anybody, any thoughts? Is anyone upset about this? Besides active research, who gets upset about half the shit I say? Any thoughts? This is not. Remember, for those that are on the Zoid Void already, this is not to distance myself from that or some bullshit like that. I want to clarify that. I am fucking happy, and whatever the closest version of proud is to someone like me about the Zoid Void. I just keep seeing, one of the reasons too is I keep seeing a lot of people that are definitely not schizoid applying on that server that are also either relating to or interested in a lot of the subject matter I cover and how I cover it, right, and how I talk about it. And it sometimes feels like, oh, they resonated with some stuff I said, and so then they try to join the server because they want to talk to other people that might say stuff that they resonate with, and then it's like, man, yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult, especially now that I'm like expanding toward like other things on top of that. So yeah, join it. The link's in the description. Join it, jump on it, drop your philosophy stuff, your I don't know, whatever the hell you want. There's a lot of categories. A lot of the same categories you would have found in the Zoid Void, minus, like I said, the schizoid specific stuff. That is more for that those issues, and so on and so forth. I'm just saying, it sounds fine. Pretty much one of your long-term weirdos here in the yard of the Zoid Void. Out in the yard? Yeah. Well, there you go. You can join that server, Trudy, and post to your heart's content any art or whatever silliness you may like. But no, it's going to be a little more probably chaotic. The efficiency or the chill and calm nature of what is generally the Zoid Void. You've been sitting under the trees. Hell yeah, do it. All right, I think that's enough of me talking about that for now. But remember, it's a little bare bones. Links in the description. We'll make changes as we go. Yeah, just kind of playing it by ear. I guess that's the best way to put it. But I just want it to be that. I want that server to be more specific to just people that I guess like the channel, wanting to talk about the stuff I bring up, or bring up their own shit that maybe will make me want to talk about it. Yeah, fuck it. Right, pretty simple. Trying to keep it simple. Nothing ever stays that way, but hell, let's give it a shot. All right, so video time. Let's get my old fucking millennial ass going here. Man, it's really slow today. What the fuck is it, the title? In Chitty Chit Chat. Oh, I'm glad you're super excited, Active. I made it just for you so that you can go Chitty Chit Chat. I want you to Chitty Chit Chat all over the place. Yeah, I kind of figure the schizoids that do watch my shit are not gonna be that active in that one. They're probably just gonna stick to the Zoid Void, which I absolutely understand. Or maybe they're gonna want to lurk in there. If you're a Zoid in the Zoid Void, just join its alert, just in case we start getting some interesting characters. It might be worth a shot for that much at least. We'll see. This could turn out to be a complete disaster. I'm ready for whatever. For the most part. I at least I think oh, it's gonna be a terrible idea. But it's okay. I like terrible ideas. Okay. So this is what we're gonna do. This is the video I want to talk about and play, and you guys can see it and what have you. Found it really interesting. And I think what they had to say was really, and I hope you do too. And this is the part about AI art being boring as fuck. I've talked about this before. I've talked about why I believe that AI art is no threat and will never be a threat to a stretching table, to any kind of actual art that matters to people that give a fuck about art at all or enjoy art in whatever form. And I think this person right here covers it pretty nicely. There's a lot of people out there that they'll have ideas that I absolutely agree with, and I've tried to sort of explain in my own stupid stream of consciousness way that are able to do it in a much more palatable and easy to consume way. And this is one of those people.
Same thing over
and I didn't have the volume up because I am a moron. There we go.
over again on social media.
Let me start this over.
So for the last 3 months, I keep getting asked the exact same thing over and over again on social media. Is it even worth
by the way, this is it's called Learn Fast Enough to Stay Human in the Age of AI. Jess Wiseman, TEDx Northern Quarter, from the TEDx channel. There's so many videos on there. Most are
in a creative career now that AI can do it all
there's some
for me?
decent ones in there.
I mean, kind of fair. My name is Jess Wiseman. I'm a designer, and I built my career from stacking as many creative hobbies as I possibly could. From 3D animation to 2D digital illustration, ranging from Blender, After Effects, Illustrator, Procreate, as well as product designs. So I build my own products using my own IP, and I'd have an idea, create it in 3D, and then publish it on social media. And if enough people like the idea, then I'd find a manufacturer and create the product into a real-life thing. So all these examples are not actually real products on the screen. They're 3D designs that I'd post on my social media, and then, yeah, if enough people like it, I'll turn it into a real thing. As well as painting, so oil paints and acrylic. This was a mural I did 3 weeks ago for my good friends on YouTube, Nownish, and it took me 2 weeks to complete. As well as what I began back when I was 17 years old, pencil crayon portraiture, and to try and create a creative career for myself, where I'd cold email as many people as I physically could in order for the hopes that one day someone would say yes to me and I'd be able to get my foot in the door. Shout out KSI being the first person that said yes. And as a result, it's allowed me to work with some of the biggest brands and influencers in the space, ranging from Samsung to the Sidemen to Snoop Dogg, and even Converse when I was 16 and 17 years old to create a logo for their exclusive London shoe. However, this is all where it comes crumbling down, because I'm an artist in 2025, which to a lot of people means that I'm completely cooked. And they kind of have a point. You see, in 2001, Pixar created Monsters, Inc. Sully, the blue main character, required 2.3 million strands of hair, with some shots taking 12 hours to render per frame. At 24 frames per second, that's almost 2 weeks just for 1 single second of footage. Fast forward 10 years, and now we have software from Cinema 4D, Blender, and Maya that allowed individual artists to create the exact same thing, but this time from the comfort of their own bedroom. Fast forward to today, and now AI is creatively executing faster than our brain is evolved to handle. You see, Magnus Carlsen, the #1 chess player in the world, casually remarked on the Joe Rogan podcast that there's no chance he'd be able to outperform his own smartphone. He wasn't being dramatic either.
Don't worry, this gets a lot more interesting after this introduction, at least in my opinion. A lot of these talks, there's a lot of fluff at the beginning, but then it starts getting into the nitty gritty, and then, oh, okay, all right, that's what we're exploring. That's how we're wording it. But that's just me. That's like, those are my, like, what's the word? My more impatient nature.
It's recognition that certain skill-trained AI models can easily outperform human intuition. Well, I listened to this podcast and thought, well, what is the point? If the point of learning is to get incrementally better at skill every day until you one day reach mastery, but now mastery is already attained, and it's to a degree that it can outperform the Earth's greatest players in their field 10 out of 10 times, why would we bother competing at all? You see the gap between effort and output.
You have no idea how many people I've heard say that shit. It's crazy. Like, how many people have heard say that and like really believe it? Like, to be actually discouraged by how good AI art or advanced or technical or complex a lot of AI generated video or art or writing and so on and so forth. Oh, it's getting really good now. Oh, we're in trouble. We're cooked. It's getting really good. Like, and it's funny because most of the time that I hear those, like, I either hear concerns about that, and that's usually because those people, they're comparing themselves to something that essentially is at least by my definition, unable to create actual art, right? And they're defining art. They're forgetting about some of the most major components of what makes art so interesting, so engaging, so relatable to the human beings that are enjoying it, which is what this is going to kind of mention and talk about, which is our flawed nature, right? Our weaknesses, our struggles. Art used to always be a type of way. People used to prove their art skill, like in realism sketching, before you could play silly buggers with skills and do a Picasso. Yeah, see, that's what's kind of funny is I feel like AI art oftentimes is kind of like it's almost archaic. It's like an archaic representation of what art is supposed to be, which is just like a technical craft, which is bullshit. Right? Art is not a technical craft exclusively, and a lot of art in the past was kind of treated that way. It was treated in the same way that like a lot of music was treated. A lot of classical music. It was just it had to be this kind of aesthetic perfection that was being defined by oftentimes the elites of that culture, that civilization, that time period. They were the ones defining what art was, and it had to hit these bars, and these bars were so fucking arbitrary and limiting, so much so that many artists, right, that we actually enjoy today or are renowned in even the last few hundred years, right, we're fucking around trying to like break out of some of that shit, just trying to like, but they were doing it safely because, man, fucking around too much back then, even if you're a talented artist, like that could cost you your fucking life depending on when you're talking about it. So writers and artists and stuff like that, they just had to, they push the envelope little bits by bits, right? And it's funny because if you look into like bios and stuff, or if you look into like some of the more private or unreleased shit that a lot of artists that are well known have, shit that they kept in their quarters or stuff that was never like meant to see the light of day, right? They tend to be a little more experimental, and so it sort of unleashed a part of what art is that was previously oftentimes kind of couched in what art was forced to be during specific times in history. Yeah, of course. But in any case,
output has never been this small, and yet the speed of change has never been this fast. And yet the human brain has not evolved in almost 200,000 years. We still fear, we still doubt, we still procrastinate the same way we did when we were cavemen carving on stones. And so on the
Cartman.
surface, my initial answer would be,
I
yeah, why
actually
would we
like that
bother?
Cartman.
We're clearly worse by every tangible metric. I mean, if you simply compound the rate of tech progression by a
AI
mere
art makes
2x in the next 5
I
years,
don't understand what
we're
that
going to be
statement
so
means.
much
Hold on.
worse.
AI art makes pop endearing because of like how soulless AI art is. I'm guessing that's what you mean. Yeah, for sure. Like I used to fucking hate, like I'm 41, so when I was in my 20s, like when I was like, well, not 20 not even, but when I was like 19, 20, 21, like, but especially like 19, all the boy band shit, all that stuff, I'm talking NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, all that kind of shit, right? When I was like a teen in high school, man, that was like, I hated that shit so much. Like, I was like that kid that was like, fuck this pop shit, like, and I'm listening to like, a bunch of fucking weird electronic shit and black metal, death metal, and power metal, and all this shit. Especially like senior year. And I was just like fuck this fucking corpo trash music, pop crap, fucking MTV regurgitated. I was just like fucking spitting venom at that shit. And yeah, now that I'm like 41 and I'm seeing like a lot of this AI art, man, like, yeah, it is endearing. It's like, man, I wish that was still bad. Like I wish that was still there for me to just be like, that sucks. And that's like the worst. Like, that's the cap of the worst, was like studio money bought fucking uh let's sell as many CDs as possible, kind of gross capitalistic shenanigans, right? Of like the early 2000s or even 2010, even. God, it's moved so fast. But like, yeah, I'll take that, man. I wish I could go back to those days now. I'm just like, please just do the bad music. That it's so you can shake your butt and they could sell CDs. Like, oh God, at least it was being made by humans. Please stop. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I almost want to like repent. Like, I'm sorry for ever talking shit about boy bands. I'm sorry for ever saying that Stain sucks and that Smash Mouth is trash. I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
By every angle, it's not even going to be worth us comparing at all. However, I've come to realize that this is completely wrong. Human error.
I'm sorry for saying the Offspring sold out after, well, like this album. I'm sorry to say Green Day was no good after this album. I'm sorry. Like, I'll take it all back. I take it all back. Just get rid of this shit. Yeah.
Is our individuality. And I think we're seeing more and more of this every day, but perhaps aren't being made more aware of it. You see, imperfection in 2025 is going to act as the new proof of authenticity. As AI starts to dominate all synthetic media, real human stories are going to gain value. You see, people don't want to watch a game of chess.
I don't know if any of you remember this, right? But this was like, I don't know, probably like, was it beginning of this year, maybe the end of last year? I don't remember when it was, but I went on a whole thing about it, about how it's just going to make a new market where nostalgia is a powerful drug for many, but it's going to make a new market of people that are just like, because people just have the, like, especially people that really like dig art and shit, like not in like some pretentious way, but they're like, yeah, they're really into the genre of, or the media of a certain kind, right? Like they're like hobbyists and really like enjoy it like significantly, right? Those people are just, they are, all of them get like the most ick feeling when it comes to AR. They all go like, they all describe it as soulless and empty and just ugh. Right? Because and it kind of ties into the video that I covered last time, the other TED Talk, about discomfort, right? Discomfort being part of the artistic process, right? Creative process, discomfort. And so when you remove discomfort, when you remove effort, when you remove blood, sweat, and tears, when it comes to the creation of art, when you know none of that was given to the piece that is before you, it just loses all fucking aesthetic value. Like it's gone, man. And I feel like the only people that really go like, oh man, artists are cooked, this art's sick. I think those are people that just they're not real, they never were into art. They were never really into it. Like it was more of like they're into entertainment. I think people that like swear to God that AI art is really good and really great, they're people that just enjoy entertainment. They want entertainment. They're not looking for art. They're looking for entertainment. Right? They're the same people, and it's it is what it is. They're the same people that play a video game because they want to like see the action and the explosions and the stories, like whatever. That's like third tier on their list of shit they give a fuck about in a game. And they want realistic graphics and realistic this and realistic physics and realistic, right? Like that. Those people, they're not playing art and they're not playing video games and enjoying it as a kind of art form. They're playing it because they want entertainment. Slop consumers. Yeah. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with wanting entertainment, right? I think it becomes a problem when that's all you care about when it comes to media. Like if that's like 90% of what you care about when it comes to any media, I want to be entertained, I want to be distracted with entertainment. That's its own crazy problem. Sargon, man, I remember Sargon. I used to watch I think some of his stuff back in the Gamergate days. I don't know, man. Like, uh, I haven't. I remember he has got that Lotus Eaters, and I don't know what his stances are on a lot of stuff now. But he just turned into for me. He just turned into like a fucking like kind of a boomer, like about stuff like real like afraid of things like throw out baby with the bathwater type shit. But I don't know. Did he fucking get better at that shit? Like, I don't know. Because yeah, I just, like, it feels like he turned into a lot of the stuff that sometimes people were accusing him of being when he wasn't. And then he kind of, like, started becoming, like, a sensationalist, a fucking, like, I don't know. It felt like he just got more pompous, like, over him boring and, like, not creative. TradCon now. Sargon of Mossad back then. Oh man, he's a TradCon. Really? Is that like what he's like? Is that his final form now? He's a TradCon. Damn, that's a wild. Because I thought he was going in that direction, and I was like, that's kind of boring. Like it started getting really like tribalistic and weird. And I was like, man, this shit's boring. This shit sound like it started sounding like I was gonna be listening to like I don't know the like fuck shit like the Rubin Report or like fucking channels like Jimmy Dore and shit like that. Like it felt like just another fucking channel like that where like nuance and context was like it was kind of like as long as it serves a purpose or a goal. I don't know, the essays I've seen his are high quality. Maybe they're old. Yeah, well, some of his like old shit. I'm talking Gamergate days. Like he was like one of the dudes that was kind of leading the charge with some of the like anti-corruption when it came to like the way that reviewers were handling gaming news and shit like that, which was I was all for that. But then when he started stepping into like politics outside of a lot of stuff, I was like, your takes are kind of boring, bro. Like they're very like low res. I'm like, okay. British for the Brits and all that. Self-described conservative now. Okay. Yeah, he just turned to some boomer. That's fine. He turned his age, got older, and got more conservative. That's the classic meme, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's just boring to listen to now. Like, I feel like, yeah, maybe he has a good take on AI, like, but there's already like 10 people that have good takes, that have consistently good takes on a lot of different shit more often. Once he showed his face, he lost the appeal. Yeah, for a lot of people, it did. All right, they just wanted a strong British voice. And then he just looked like some dude, which is fine, I guess. I mean, whatever. I'm getting distracted. I'm gonna play this.
Where each move is calculated 100 steps ahead of time. Because human blunder builds storyline, and storyline only builds connection because it's relatable. We're way more invested when we feel something is at stake, because being seen as perfect is the least relatable human trait we have. Perfectionism is an unattainable human goal. The slight hold of a sneeze between a game of chess that loses you to lose your train of thought, like I just did, is the exact thing that AI finds it very hard to naturally recreate. Sure, it can replicate these human nuances, but to a literal artificial intelligence supercomputer whose primary goal is to reach an output in the most efficient and short way possible, these human errors they're not important. They're irrelevant on paper. And yet,
the reason, I think it depends on which right you're talking about, but if you're talking like neocon type shit, especially, because there's a lot of, I guess more like conservative, people that don't like AI at all. They're like, fuck this, human hands, fuck this, human world, human hands, fuck this. They're on the like anti-clanker kind of thing too. And so I think that like the more neocon ones, or is it rhinos they call them sometimes? I don't remember. But I think those people like love this AI shit because it's just money, right? It's about bottom line. It's about, oh, what's more efficient? It makes money, right? And it's more about that. So they're like, and a lot of them just don't fucking get art. Those types of people that are just so money hungry focused. There is no left and right. There's just stupid people that can't tell what's real and stupid people that figure out what's AI. I mean, yeah, that's true in a lot of like situations. Yeah. I mean, when I use left and right, I just use it because that's like the words people use. And I watched recently a really good video by this guy I really enjoyed called Net Loss. If you haven't seen his YouTube channel, he's fucking great. But Net Loss did a video on immigration, and he basically talked about how he feels like he's going insane because he sees I guess what would be the right pretending to not like immigration, like, but they're like anti-immigration when it culturally, but economically they're pro-immigration. So that's why they never really do anything real about it, especially on the parts that make money. And then he was talking about how the left, or more neolibs, it was more like neocon versus neolib type shit. They are culturally all, saying they're all about immigration, but a lot of them still have a lot of money being made through these kind of like pro-immigration, but also like you're not stopping the exploitative practices, but also you're not admitting that being like open borders is like anti-labor, and it's like crazy. But it's just crazy. Like, I guess it's just pro-global labor, but it's just weird. It's weird. Being like open borders about like job stuff, it's like, so you want people to get exploited, that are willing to get themselves exploited because their conditions of living, their material conditions are worse where they're coming from, which then allows businesses to lower the standard of the conditions they put their own employees in and the quality of payment for them. And so then people that are used to a lower quality of life can outcompete people that are used to a bit like a higher quality of life, and that's a win. That's a W. That's fucking confusing. So he kind of Net Loss talks about that, like how this is insane. Like everyone's lying. Everyone's lying, and the only people winning are the businesses and the politicians. But the average person, including the immigrant themselves, are losing. They don't see it as losing because, like I said, they might be coming from somewhere where there's a lower quality of life. So, but it's kind of like pulling shit down to climb up. But obviously there's no blame there, right? They're just trying to fucking find a better quality of life. But it's just like the whole thing's fucked. Takes 2 seconds to figure that out. Anything short of that conclusion is disingenuous. Yeah, but also no. It's disingenuous if you know your shit. If you don't know shit, you don't dig, you don't try to understand these topics because you don't find them interesting enough, or you're too preoccupied with other stuff. What the average person is going to get pulled in by is emotional arguments, or how it affects their own lives interpersonally, right? Uncle, dad, mom. Like, mom was negatively impacted by this cultural argument, so thus it bad, right? I think that's just how people often think and experience stuff. I don't think it helps just to be like, they're stupid, because that doesn't, like, yeah, that doesn't fucking help anything, like, at all. It's not physics, it's common sense. I don't like common sense as a phrase personally, because I've seen it used too much in like weird scenarios. Not this one in particular, but I've seen so many people use common sense when they're saying something that isn't. Like, they'll be like, it's common sense, but then if you actually do some digging and look into the context and what's actually happening and the data, it's like wrong, but they're claiming it's common sense, and it's like, but that's not what's actually happening. You're just saying it's common sense because it makes sense to you, and it makes sense to people that think like you and are often emotionally driven by specific types of things. And so then everyone around you says it's common sense, not you, active, but everyone around you says it's common sense, and it's like a way to forego doing any actual truth seeking, like any actual, like, just looking into something, is to wave it off and call it common sense. Like, I've seen Alex Jones, I've seen fucking, like, all kinds of radical nut jobs, and not the kind of radical nut jobs I like, that use that phrase, common sense. I don't know.
They're the most relevant thing that we have. Now, I'm going to tell you a story. Dr. Lupo is a popular online streamer, and he recently participated...
Don't stop distracting me, guys. I need to watch the video. Yes, Sanders is kind of based in many ways, and not so based in other ways. But yes, whenever you're the guy in the party, everyone's trying to sideline and ignore, and you're saying shit. Bernie Sanders is the closest thing in the Democratic Party. In many cases, that would be like you could say, oh yeah, he's left. Like, he's not a neo-lib. Like, you could argue that Bernie Sanders is not a neo-lib. Yeah.
In a chess tournament. He was ranked 612 ELO and was placed against an opponent almost double his ranking. Chess and many other player versus player games work in a point ranking system called ELO, where the higher the points you have, the better you are as a player.
Oh, gamers
and therefore,
know about the
in order to score more points or gain more points, you of course have to play against players better than you. Dr. Lupo entered the tournament as a clear underdog. And after losing his queen super early in the game should have been over quickly. But instead of losing his cool, the gameplay turned into something pretty uncanny. 26 engine-level moves in a row, including a very calculated pawn sacrifice, as well as him calmly ignoring an exposed queen. Choices so unhuman to any beginner player, of course, the streamer's chat caught on almost immediately. Naturally, if we're not a pro, all of us get overexcited when we see a free queen, because human chess is messy. we pause, we hesitate, and we lose our train of thought. And we make emotional over logical decisions on a choice-by-choice basis. The chaos is what gives the game texture. AI doesn't sneeze, it doesn't panic, it doesn't wonder if the crowd is bullying their every move. It just...
What makes a master chess player impressive, like what makes people go, wow, I'm not into chess, but what makes people, or any video game or whatever, anything that's competitive, what makes somebody go like, oh shit, damn, right, is the fact that like, you know how tough or how complicated this thing can be, and you're like, not for me, I'm not gonna sweat over that shit. But then you see somebody that is a fucking sweat over it, and you're like, damn, like, because that shit's hard, like, that shit's complicated, that shit is going to require a lot of dedication and crap, and well, not crap, but you know what I mean, like creativity, ingenuity, like to get that fucking good, to survive that level of mercilessness that exists in the highest levels of competition in something, right? Like that is what a human being goes, oh fuck. Right? Whether it's a fighting game, whether it's League of Legends, or anything else. Yeah, dude, any sport, dude. I don't give a fuck if it's what do you call it? You know that shit where they push the it's like the old people game where they fucking push the little puck into like the spots or whatever, or horseshoes. We just talk horseshoes, right? Or fucking cornhole. That's a funny ass name for a game, but yeah, let's talk cornhole, dude. Anybody can play that shit. But when you see somebody just like casually doing shit that you're like, I don't know how a fucking person does that. That's fucking crazy. Right? That stuff's what makes it enjoyable to watch. It's not like, oh yeah, cool, like a fucking bot did it. You're gonna watch it and go like, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, I guess it's really good. Who cares? There was no dedication of a limited lifespan to fucking getting to where they got that good. They look easy if you don't know any better. Exactly. Yeah, if I see somebody do fingertip pull-ups, I'd be like, I'm not fucking fat ass ain't doing that. I got decent upper body strength, but I'm not fucking doing that. That's crazy. I see that shit and I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of hard work. I'm not doing it because that's not my deal. But still, real knows real in that sense. Human beings can recognize those things. They can be in awe of the amount of dedication a human being put into something. Because it's not about that they put that dedication into that specific thing, though it could resonate with that person due to their own aesthetics and personal, taste, whatever choices. But it's about the idea of somebody going to those levels and caring about something that much that they get to an almost like superhuman point, right? That is what makes those types of things enjoyable to watch, impressive, awe-inspiring, and so on. A human being fucking busted their ass and dedicated years, time, got headaches, got sick over it, got injured, maybe went to bed sobbing because of something associated. There's all these fucking experiences that occurred that led up to that level of masterfulness. And I think intuitively human beings can sort of resonate with that and understand it.
Calculates perfectly and precisely. And it was that very precision that gave the game away. Of course, the perfectionism of Dr. Lupo's play was the exact indicator that it wasn't him playing at all. And it was, in fact, an AI chess assistant that he was using during the tournament. And that's the paradox. The very thing that AI optimizes for, the short, efficient route to success, is also the exact thing that exposes it. Take Kwebbelkop, a popular Minecraft YouTuber that by 2024 had replaced all his short-form content into an AI version of himself, On paper, this is efficiency at scale. In reality, his lifelong fans that knew his every mannerisms instantly picked up on the uncanny lack of soul in his content. To them, their favorite creator was no longer there. And thus, he started losing the one thing that matters most in this economy: community. And without that, even millions of subscribers can feel like an empty room. And these examples aren't solo either. We're likely going to see plenty more as AI starts dominating all areas of social media and all areas of interest. You see, the social media space has changed drastically over the last few years. We're no longer in the social media space. We're now entering the interest media. We're not just going on Instagram to speak socially to our friends anymore. We're opening the app to be fed what the algorithm knows that we're interested in. And as a result, this means two things. Number one, attention is the greatest asset on earth right now. And with an infinity of content online, and with AI contributing to this content, this volume is not stopping anytime soon. And two, the algorithm isn't just showing us what's trending globally anymore. It's showing us what's trending specifically for you. And so with these two foundations, and in a giant sea of content on the internet...
That's why, if you're fully aware, this is why, if we're talking like even if we're talking like 2019, 2020, there was a lot of conversation about like echo chambers, right, in communities. Yeah, that could definitely happen. You're not careful. Or you can get pulled into that shit. But now we have like individualized, atomized echo chambers. Those are a lot harder to spot for people. Especially since the one creating it is not human. Well, it is if you want to argue that the one that set it up is human. You know what I'm saying. The one figuring out what to feed you, how to keep you entertained, what your distractions are, what you're willing to spend your money on. It'll just keep feeding you that shit, and you're just gonna think it's normal. This is what everyone else is experiencing when they use this app or this thing, right?
Pendulum is now swinging the other way. Humans aren't going to crave more content. They're going to start to crave what feels real, which means the more raw, imperfect, and authentic you are, the more likely you're going to find success in your own field. And you see, it doesn't just stop here. Because as perfect content increases online, we're now seeing a cultural shift back to raw, imperfect, and story-first content. And so this can be drawn all the way back to basic human biology. Our brain releases oxytocin, for example, when we sense honesty, and our mirror neurons fire when we see struggle. And for thousands of years, our survival depended on knowing the difference between what is real and what is fake. We are literally hardwired this way. And so, like I said, as perfect content increases online, there's this cultural shift now back to raw, imperfect, and story-first content.
And it's interesting because I'm seeing this happen with my own daughter, right? She's 14, and her friends around the same age. And I mentioned this before, but, obviously because of that reason, I have to go to events with my wife, to like events at the high school, and all kinds of stuff, right? In elementary school before that, but high school now, middle school, And so I'm going to be there for these parent things or whatever, and I'm going to see all these high schoolers, right? And so they're going to be wearing their clothes, and you can see what the trends are, like what it is that people are like kind of doing at this age during this time. And what I'm seeing is kind of what I forgot their name, but this nice person here is explaining. Right? They're wearing shirts, hanging up posters, whatever, keychains of some of the shit I was into, like in 2000 or 1999 or something, or like mid 90s. Like they're seeking out imperfection. They're seeking out the before long ago times, because especially Zoomers, they can recognize, like, and alphas, especially alphas, holy shit, they can recognize this shit's whack. Like, this shit's boring. This has no soul. There's just nothing there. This is just entertainment, right? And something inside a person just can often make them go like, I don't like this shit. Like, what is it? It doesn't feel like anything, right? And I think it ties into sort of what she's describing is kind of how, what part of how the human brain evolved to recognize authenticity for survival reasons. But when resources are less scarce, then it becomes for more peacetime reasons, right? You have more room for things like growth and empathy. You have room and time to enjoy art. And it's always going to be there, even during bad times, but you have more. You have more of it, right? So you get more fine-tuned in that sense. So I think a lot of young people, yeah, they're starting to just be like, they're reverting to old technology. And it's not about nostalgia because they never had that shit, right? And it's not just about a trend because the stuff that's trending is still mostly the stuff that like millennials and like I guess would be like super early Zoomers are just being consumers about, right? These like late Zoomers and these, you know, alphas, they're just like, it's boring, and it's good, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see. I like hearing, and I never push this stuff. I never told my daughter this, like, oh, this stuff sucks and whatever. Nah, just she's gravitated toward it. She's telling me like, oh, I like this band a lot. I've been listening to their albums. Oh, cool. Who are they? Oh, you know, there's some indie band. Oh, new one, and they're like, no, they're like from like 2005 or something, or like 19. The late, you know, she fucks with me. She says the late 1900s. I'm like, yeah, yeah. And so yeah, like they recognize something there and they're gravitating toward it. Like that's why they like a lot of these old games. They're imperfect, right? That's why you see this increase in like these indie games, these polygon games, these pixel games, because they're just like, give me a good story, give me imperfection, give me art, give me something that like, you know, a handful of devs made together, right? A handful of people made together. They're loving that shit because it feels like something to them. They haven't they got away from the in many ways, not always, but what a lot of people don't get about like brain rot shit is that oftentimes a lot of the brain rot stuff can be pretty like ironic and like satirical. Like you'd be surprised how many of these people that say brain rot shit are actually aware of how and what it is, and they find it funny. But especially on the younger side.
Things like lo-fi or behind the scenes or creators-driven content is now far outperforming perfect posts. And this is also a reason why the creator space is now far outperforming brands in 2025. Smaller clothing brands that are building their brand transparently on Instagram are gaining far more attention and ironically are selling out far faster than the giga brands that have 100 grand ad campaigns behind them. You see, Gen Z prioritizes trust over everything.
Yeah, that's why if I sit down and I play Ocarina of Time, like, even if I well, this is what's funny. I was never into Ocarina of Time. I was not a Zelda gamer. Like, growing up, I was into Link to the Past, Super Nintendo. For N64, I was more of a PlayStation guy than an N64 guy, right? So I played a few N64 titles that are considered classics, but I mostly was PlayStation, right? So I was playing RPGs and all kinds of shit on PlayStation. That's my nostalgia, or whatever you want to call it, right? When I got older, there was like re-releases of Ocarina of Time, Zelda. I think on the GameCube, right? I believe on the 3DS, but I don't remember. But point is, I played Ocarina of Time for the first time on the GameCube, and I was like, yo, this shit's fucking fire, because the games were still pretty decent then, but I was like, man, something about this game. And I didn't play Majora's Mask until like much later. Like Majora's Mask I didn't fuck with until like completely. I think I dabbled in it, but like fucked with a lot until maybe like 4 years ago or something. And I'm playing modern games and I'm like going, oh man, this is good shit. cool writing, badass music, cool game mechanics. It's all blocky and shit, but that didn't fucking matter, man. Because it was good. That shit was good. You could feel the fucking art, you know? You could feel the care and the detail they put into it. Especially when you take into context the technological limitations, right? And some people out there might argue, oh, well, the reason a lot of these indie devs use low poly stuff is because, you know, it saves money and it's easier. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. That person's a fucking idiot for saying that. These fucking low poly indie games, they got like fucking 5 people working on it, 4 people, right? And they'll put in more love and detail and gameplay and like nuance and good writing and all this shit. They'll just fucking pour it on there, man. And it's just like, damn. Like how I guess that was the last thing, right? That people got like upset about, like in the game, in the big game studio world. They were like mad about Silksong, right? The Hollow Knight sequel. They were mad, you know, like that. They were mad about Silksong coming out for, what was it, like $30? Was it $25? Right? And that shit like outsold almost fucking any AAA game that's come out in a minute. Like that it was supposed to be like story driven and all this shit. It like fucking and they were pissed because they sold it for $25, right? And so people are buying this game for $25 and going, wow, this is a really good fucking game. Oh, there's hours of gameplay. Oh, it's got so much art and heart and like soul. Holy shit. And they paid $25. Meanwhile, they pay $60 and they get like a fucking empty husk of a game. Oh, but it's realistic looking. It looks so realistic. All right. I guess that's cool for the COD exclusive players, you know? People that are just playing fucking COD all day, nothing else. Sure. Entertainment. I just want to kick some asses. I just want to be the best. Yeah, I'll kick some asses. Like, all right, buddy. Go right ahead. Wild.
Which means you're also seeing brands that are now trying to be more relatable and post memes from their official account. Because being seen as perfect is no longer the meta. Brands like Vandy the Pink or Off God Tate have, by vanity of followers, far fewer than, let's say, Nike. But those that are following them have a far higher invested interest in the creator behind the brand. And as a result, it's changing consumer behavior. People aren't just buying the product based on what the product is. We're now buying the product based on why. We are making emotional over logical decisions on a choice-by-choice basis. People aren't just buying the product, they're buying the person behind the product. And that's the shift.
Yep.
People are IP.
Goal. Yep.
You are your own intellectual property, whether you like it or not, or whether you're on social media or not. If you've never posted a single thing online and you have 0 followers,
yeah, a lot of modern games
friends,
they try to put everything in there. They try to put like everything possible in there. Give me 1 second. Sorry, my hair's always in the way. My daughter just had she had to do something real quick. But yeah. What was I saying? The one strong goal thing? Nah, it was something else about what she said. Ah, fuck. And what's crazy is when it comes to like the indie shit and people like younger people that just want real shit that look like it had fucking it's art. Like they want more art in their video games, right? Not just fucking realistic physics. Better graphics, right? I was never into the whole fucking better graphics thing. Like it was just like it was just never the motivating factor. That's probably why I was playing mostly 2D games on my PlayStation. But what was I saying? Shit, I lost my thought. I feel like it was a decent thought too. Oh, yeah, the checklist thing that you said. So, yeah, a lot of modern like AAA studio games, yeah, man, it feels like they want to put everything in the kitchen sink in the game, right? Like it fucking drives me crazy. Like I'm like, oh, cool, I'm gonna play this game with a story or whatever, right? And then they have like this stuff where, oh, you can customize your clothes. Oh, you can make your own little house. Oh, you can like fucking, you can do this, you can do that. Like, I'm like, yo, I just want to be like, I just want to play Ninja Gaiden Black, you know? I just want to fucking be a ninja and do cool shit and have a fun story and like it's a popcorn film, right? I want to like like defeat really fucking difficult bosses and do crazy combos and like just do impossible shit that no one could ever do in real life. Right? I want to work to like beat these fucking hard levels and mobs of enemies and shit, right? You know, that's a specific kind of gameplay, right? And that's the goal, right? That's the goal of the game. I didn't turn on Ninja Gaiden Black so that I can fucking um microtransactions to get cool outfits and then like also like to find collectibles to put in my fucking ninja hidey hole and like uh have some like absolute dog shit multiplayer mode that requires me to be online to play the fucking game. Like, what is this shit, man? That's why people like the indie shit, because it's like, oh, what kind of game is it? Oh, it's a shooter. Oh, what do you do in it? You shoot things. Oh, okay. Cool. Like, play H-Rot. If you've never played H-Rot, man, that's a throwback game. It's a new game. It's a newer-ish game, but H-Rot. H-R-O-T. It's like weird dystopia, like Soviet Union, like alternate timeline thing. It looks like you're playing fucking Quake 2. It's got a lot of humor, a lot of funny shit, crazy bosses, sometimes pretty relentless crap. Like, I played H-Rot. What did I want to do? I wanted to be in a weird Soviet Union dystopia fighting like mutants and fucking dudes in gas masks puking and funny jokes that like are like only like people that know something about like Cold War shit or people that are actually Russian might get. Right? Like that's the goal of the game. And goofy Easter eggs that just make you chuckle. Right? They don't it's just so it's so simple. All that other shit that I'm talking about that they keep adding to games, leave that to the mod the for modding. Leave that for modding, leave that to the fan base. Just please fucking stop. Like I don't play Binding of Isaac so that I can, I don't know, like think of like the worst possible thing like you can add to like something like Binding of Isaac. Oh, combat multiplayer mode. Let that be a mod. We don't need that shit. Nobody wants it. Please. The name of the game is escaping me right now, but it's a wicked indie game my friend showed me where bullets actually destroy the environment and the AI is formidable. Enemy AI, that is. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. I want AI that's like programmed to behave a certain way. If we start letting AI fucking create the AI for like enemies and stuff, every fucking enemy is gonna feel the same, dude. It's just gonna, oh god, it's gonna suck. It's gonna fucking suck. But anyway, yeah, play games like Ultra Kill or whatever. I want to throw coins and shoot the coin and it flies around. It gets really complicated and crazy, and I want a crazy story that has like religious iconography and like explosions and shit, and it feels like a fucking drug trip. It's like, yeah, it did the job. That's what it wanted to do, so it did it. Hayden Hamilton asked what my favorite movie is. I didn't want to forget that. I have an active archive of movies in my about if you're interested, Hayden. Oh yeah, they do. It's pretty fucking cool. But no, my favorite movie, man, that's like one of those questions like you don't ask somebody like me because it's just too much shit. You give me a genre at least. This video is about to end and I gotta go, but give me a genre at least, like minimum, bro. Give me a genre, and then give me a subgenre, subgenre. Like I can't, like if you just say horror movies, bro, give me like the next subgenre at least. Slashers. I could be like, okay, you know, Italian, Japanese, Korean. You know, I can work with that. I don't have a favorite movie. That's, to me, that concept, that idea is just wild. Like my brain can't do it. Too many parameters, too much shit, too many pieces of context to consider for me to go favorite movie. I think it's funny when somebody's like, that's my favoriteest movie ever. I'm like, have you watched a lot of movies? I mean, it's a fun movie. Yeah, that's not my favorite, like cyberpunkish dystopia with cyborg type thing movie. I would have to. I'm the kind of person that would have to sit there and think about it for a while. The more vague it is, the question. But here, if you're not gonna throw a subgenre or anything at me, I guess I'll do it myself. Well, even this is hard. All right, so we're gonna go with horror mockumentary. There. Horror mockumentary. That would be Behind the Mask. Leslie Vernon. Or The Legend of Leslie Vernon. Yeah, that would be my favorite horror mockumentary, because there are a handful of horror mockumentaries. Stop. Research, that movie's so stupid. The movie's so stupid, dude. That shit was funny. That movie was so fucking dumb, dude. God, and it looked like shit. Like the CGI was just goofy. It was like, what the fuck? This looked like studio CGI from like, I don't know, like 2005 or something, man. It was just so bad, dude. Um, but yeah, what's another genre, subgenre? Like Western, uh spaghetti Western. For me it would be what's that? Pale Rider. I really like that movie. Is it called that, Pale? Am I stupid? Pale, the one with Clint Eastwood, and it's really fucking weird. Um, oh man, I'm so bad. I can't remember all the names, but yeah, I really, bro, Lake Mungo is wild. That's like in my top three favorite found footage ish. Well, it's not a mockumentary. It's a fake documentary. I wouldn't call Lake Mungo a mockumentary. You know what I mean? Because it's not mockumentaries. Usually, there's like a satire. There's some kind of comedy. Lake Mungo is not funny in the least, but it's a fucking awesome documentary. Would it be a mockumentary? Is a mockumentary have to be funny? Or is a mockumentary whenever a documentary is not? It's just a mock-up. So it's not about mocking, it's about a mock-up. So when you say mockumentary, Lake Mungo would count? Oh shit, that makes it hard. Well, then I would be like, my favorite mockumentary, if that's how we categorize it. Yeah, it would be like I mean, man, I really love Blair Witch. I don't know if, no, but it's not really, I don't know, it's kind of, no, it's not really set up like a documentary. Yeah, I mean, I would say Lake Mungo is a god tier serious mockumentary. But Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon, that is my favorite comedy mockumentary, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, see, it gets all complicated, right? But Lake Mungo is fucking awesome. A lot of people that like entertainment, they don't like art. Like they watch it and they're like, it's boring. Like, man, you're not picking up on any of this shit. What are you doing? Lake Mungo is fucking great. It's like even back then, people that watch Blair Witch were like, "Oh, this movie's boring. Like, just people running around screaming and boogers coming out, and everyone's crying." Like, I'm like, man, Blair Witch is incredibly good film. No budget, acting was fine. Really creepy premise. Awesome twist ending that like 90% of people that watched it did not get, like, at all. What did somebody else ask? Comedy pre 2005. Hate him. Comedy pre 2005. Comedy pre 2005. I'm really bad with years, so I'm gonna have to like pull up a list. All right, but basically, you guys get the point of this thing. She wraps it up. Basically, you get it, right? AI is not taking over shit when it comes to the art world. It's just not, because human beings have a fucking built-in drive for wanting things like authenticity of stuff. Pseudo documentary. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There you go. All right. I gotta go, but I'm gonna explore this part. Okay. Pre 2005 comedy. All right. I'm old as fuck, so I've seen plenty. Though comedy's never been like, yes, and yes, that is a Doki Doki Literature Club background, because that is a really great horror game. Doki Doki Literature Club is a really cool science fiction horror game in some ways. Yeah, it gets pretty fucking strange, especially if you play the plus version. I'm a big fan. Like the soundtrack, and it's extremely fucked. Yeah, it's fun. People see like, it's funny when they see this shit, like they just think like I'm like some fucking like, I don't know, like, oh, he's into like weird slice of life anime and he's some gooner or something. I'm like, nah, there isn't very much slice of life I like. I have no problems with hentai. I am a man of culture. In fact, I it was just, I'm not gonna get into it, but it's I have a really crazy argument for why hentai is far more ethical than most of the shit you get out of, Pornhub and stuff like that. In any case, even though it's like painted as being like lame and being a loser and you're fapping to cartoons, but it's like, yeah, but you're fapping to exploitation. So what's worse, sir? But in any case, what was it again? What was I looking for again? Oh yeah, pre 2005 comics. Uh, Pre two. Dude, wait, you're saying like pre 2005, like ever? Not AI made that. I'm not. I mean, it's still better. Like, I'd rather people be fapping to AI porn. Um, if they somehow made it, regulated it, and made it illegal to use actual photos or representations of people. Yeah, but then you're fucking over people. I don't know. The whole thing's, look, in a dream world, in a fucking dream world, right? I would want there to be ethical, highly regulated, and very ethical adult films. Good luck making that happen. But that would be my dream world of what that kind of content should be. Yeah, yeah. Well, Kingsman's fun. That's a fun movie, yeah, for sure. I liked it. I didn't see the sequel, but uh but pre 2005, that's wild. That's like every comedy ever before. Give me like a are you saying like any comedy ever made prior to 2005? That's so, that's vague but oddly specific all at the same time. When you asked, I was thinking like 90s and like 2005 to like 90 or something, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna narrow the range. So I'm gonna go with 2000 to 2005 comic. Okay, I'm gonna go. Oh, I hate when my keyboard does this. Hold on, it's been like acting fucking weird. Why is it? I don't know. I'm probably gonna get a new one. Why does it do that? Okay, I'll just go through this and then I just won't choose anything that's like past 2005. All right. Hmm. Okay. I was never a big comedy guy, mind you. There's a few. Oh, okay. We're getting some good ones here. What the fuck? Knight's Tale is a. It's a fun, goofy movie, but it's not a comedy. Okay, come on. Give me. Where's the good shit at? Man, I'm not. This is not a good year. I mean, there's a few decent ones in there, but I'm like, you're asking for my favorite. Like, obviously, Zoolander's just fun. Yeah, I'm not a big comedy guy, I guess. There's a few comedy movies I do enjoy, but it's not like a genre that I the kind of shit that makes me laugh is not usually the kind of shit you're gonna see in a comedy. When did Idiocracy come out? Maybe it's that. If that came out in that time range, it'll be that. 2006. Fuck, missed it by a year. That one's kind of funny. That's well, pre 2005 though. Why is this? This is just going up now. What the fuck? I put 2000. Really, dude? I guess if I have to pick something from here that's pre 2005, as far as like, oh, big comedies that I can recognize and see here, let me go with 2004. The Stepford Wives was kind of a dark comedy. Man, it just, I feel like comedy got shittier after like it got progressively shittier with movies like all the sequels to things like American Pie and all that kind of crap. Like Scary Movie 2 was the last scary movie that was good, in my opinion. Scary Movie 3 was mid. Scary Movie 2 was a absolutely retarded masterpiece. Goldmember was just not that good compared to like, the first two. This is a hard question because I guess Zoolander, if we're going like 2001 or so. Oh, wait, Scary Movie 2 is in 2001. I really like Scary Movie 2. That movie's fucked up and weird and had a lot of comedy that you can never get away with anymore. Man, okay, those are the contenders. Scary Movie 2. Me Miss Something Irene. I have appreciation for it. Uh Scary Movie 2. Scary Movie 2 is my favorite pre 2005, between 2000 and 2005. Scary Movie 2. This is my favorite comedy. This is not my genre. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's my answer. Zoolander, close second. Comedies I really like that were kind of famous, I guess, were like Step Brothers. I enjoy thoroughly. Liar Liar is a funny movie. Yep, yep. It's a fun movie. It's only a fun movie because Jim Carrey can be really fun. When I was younger, I was like an Ace Ventura guy, Dumb and Dumber. I enjoyed that. Uh, yeah, man. Yeah. As I got older, like comedies just became less and less interesting to me. Like, okay, I'll tell you this: my favorite comedy show that's like newer or more modern is currently uh The Righteous Gemstones. That is a really fucking funny show. It's obscene, but just enough. It's got fucking hilarious writing, good delivery, good acting. Um, and it's actually kind of interesting because even though it's satire about like evangelical stuff, like TV, like megachurch shit. It doesn't really like it does a really cool job of not falling prey to the most obvious things they could be doing, which is like making fun of people that are like, or making fun of Christian stuff, right? I'm not a Christian, but that's like the most low hanging fruit you can do, right? And that's not really what it emphasizes. It really does emphasize like how insane and shitty the people that are involved in running these like mega conglomerate fucking mega church shits are. So yeah, if somebody, yeah, this is comedy, so I was just doing comedy. Shaun of the Dead, when did that come out? That would beat it out. But I think that was like 2008. I enjoyed myself with Shaun of the Dead. Okay, I gotta go, guys. This is crazy. We're just nerding out now at this point. Which I'm down. Maybe like maybe how about this, guys? If you guys want to talk movies and shit, let's do Thursday. Thursday, I want it to be like my more casual stream where I don't have like a video. I'm not trying to cover something specific. I'm not trying to like get into the nitty gritty of something more complex. Blah blah blah. Right. Thursday, I want it to be more like it would be nerdy shit, casual shit, whatever fucking works. We talk fucking film, anime, music. You know, I am a jack of all art. That sounds weird. I jack on all art. No. All right. Peace out, guys. And as usual, when day is dark, always remember happy day. Oh, yeah. And join the new server. I put the fucking thing in the description for those that aren't like Schizoid, but you want to talk about some of the shit I talk about or whatever the fuck, heart's content. Just fucking do it. If you are Schizoid and you're looking for support relatability, join the Zoid Void. That'll probably be more and apply there. And then 2 or 3, if you like my content, if you like what I talk about, if you like my takes, or if you hate my takes, I don't care. I'll take your money. Patreon, PayPal, all of it is really useful right now because I'm not trying to sob story, but I'm a dad. I got a wife. I got 2 kids, and jobs are hard to find at the moment. And I've been jobless for a minute. So anytime somebody helps on there in any way, namaste. No, but seriously, like it fucking helps. All right. Peace out. And oh, I didn't finish my line. When day is dark, always remember happy day, but also get fucking angry. Yeah, get fucking angry. When necessary. All right. Later, fucks.